Hey, this is Fat Girls Rule, and this is, I think it's Straight Talk number 16, and, English Makeup Chick 96, I'm pretty sure that's how you say her channel name. She had asked me to do this, so the title is, What Do I Want to Be When I Grow Up? So, Coral asked me to do this video, and she's like 13, she's going to be going in the 9th grade, and they pretty much want you, from what I understand, they pretty much want you at that time to decide what you want to be when you grow up. So I don't know if they have classes that they take, you know, to help get to that point. So then when you take college, you're ahead of the game. Most Americans don't quite do that. They might when they're a junior, you know, you know, or if they're already ahead on their classes and they want to fill it in with other college courses, or they'll do college courses at night if they want to. So anyways, let's see. So the first thing, I was like, oh my God, you know, I could never imagine at 13 being like, okay, this is what I want to be when I grow up, and stick to it. Because, I mean, even at that point, we're still like, well, I want to be the president, or I want to be a doctor, or I want to be this or that, and, sorry. So anyways, you know, I was like really like baffled about it, and, thinking that, oh, I would not want to be in that place. So anyways, so let me see so anyways, when my son, at that point, I think it was, yeah, it was his junior year, then they did like a job fair or something like that, where you go and there's like all these representatives, I can't even say it, representatives, I can't even say it now, but there's people there representing different businesses like the railroad, police, whatever, you know, a baker or whoever, and then the children in school can go and talk to each of them and, you know, learn about the benefits of the job, what it'll take to get to that job, like, you know, whether it be college or some other kind of training, and yada yada yada, and how much they pay, you know, all that stuff, retirement, 401ks, all that stuff. So at that point he decided that he wanted to be in the railroad because it was just such an awesome opportunity, and the schooling is pretty minimum for such an awesome career. And he's always like loved the railroad. I know my dad used to take him when he was really little, and they would just go down the street and watch watch the trains drive by. So, like, here comes the train, yippee! And that was just like their personal, private time that they did. And he was like probably 2 or younger, and he just loved doing that and watching the trains. You know, look back at my youth, and you know, I knew that I wasn't probably going to be going to college because of the money or any other extra schooling. So, you know, I really had no clue what I was going to do, but I knew, you know, that I loved working with kids, and worked with kids in high school. I would like go be a helper in the grade school, because at that point our whole school was one school. There was just grade school, and then there was high school. There was no middle school like there is now. And because our school was so tiny, and the school was like really long, like a block long, and we were just all together. But, you know, I would like go work with children that were mentally handicapped and needed the extra attention. So I really enjoyed that, and I reaped a lot of benefit from it, and really loved the fact that they were getting better at whatever they were doing because I was working with them and helping them. So what you need to ask yourself, you know, and I would write these things down. I'm always one to journal things down and any ideas about this. But, you know, what do you love? Do you love animals? Do you love people? Do you love the elderly? Do you love kids? Do you like cars, airplanes? What is your passion right now? Because more than likely, if that's what you love, if you love animals, you're probably going to love animals the rest of your life. You know, I've always loved, like, animals, kids, elderly, and just people in general. I love meeting new people and yada yada yada. So, you know, keep a journal and write down your thoughts and possibilities. Like, let's say you really wanted to be, you know, work with animals, then put, you know, like a vet. And then what are all the possibilities being a vet, or like other things, like you could work for the Humane Society, you could be a vet, you could be a vet's assistant. I mean, there's all these different other areas that you could go that, like, to work for the Humane Society, you wouldn't need to have you know, college or whatever, unless you're Kim and she works for the Humane Society and she probably has like her bachelor's degree, or more. But you know, just do different levels of that career that you could break it up. Like if it was you was working with elderly, were you going to go ahead and get your nurses? You could be a nurse's assistant, or in all the different degrees of nursing to do that field, and how far you want to go with it, if that makes any sense. Ever since I was young girl, you know, I like took care of my sister whenever she got sick. It didn't bother me if she like vomited, or, you know, always, because my mom would like gag, so I would just take care of it because it was just too funny to watch her gag, and we would laugh at her, and she had to clean up vomit. So to me, it just never bothered me, and it had no problem with taking care of her. And, you know, and as an adult, or taking care of any children and babysitting, you know, it didn't bother me, and I was fine with cleaning up after them and whatever. As an adult, you know, I went to school to be a manicurist, and I just decided at that time that that was something I did not want to do, and that was like 20 years ago, and in early 20s, and I decided I didn't want to do that because I had to sit all day, and it just drove me crazy. My butt would fall asleep, my legs would fall asleep, or they would start hurting, and I needed to be up moving around. But I did finish the class because I do not quit anything. The class is already paid for, so I finished the class and passed with, you know, flying colors. You know, I started taking some college classes here and there, but I really did not know what I wanted to be. Even at that point, even at 20 years of age, you know, I was a single mom, on government assistant, and I didn't know what I wanted to be. But in the meanwhile, you know, I was like babysitting during the day or working for daycares, and I was like, that's just an easy job for me to make money until I could get somewhere to be more successful. So, but a friend of mine who did work for the SRS, and the SRS is like the welfare office, if you don't know, where you get assistance. I had a friend that worked there, and we met there, and I don't see her anymore. I haven't seen her forever. I didn't know how to get a hold of her, but she was really the one that encouraged me to do this. And she's like, you know, you should become a daycare provider, because she knew I was watching kids, because I had to turn in a receipt every month. So, you know, because you know, to turn it in, because that's the truthful thing to do, an honest thing to do. And she's like, why don't you be like a registered daycare provider? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, that'd probably be too hard. She's like, but you're already doing it, basically. Just get registered. So I was like, duh. And you know, I never regretted taking this business on. It's always made me a really good amount of money. So, you know, it's awesome. My future goals are, and I'm going to quit here in a minute and start a second one up, but, you know, future goals that I want to do, and here I'm almost 40, you know, I want to do foster care for troubled teen girls. I thought about also getting my nursing degree just to get it, and so who knows, me getting my foster degree, I might be able to get grants, because the business I run, and if I do foster care, they may provide me with grants to help me receive those things, because there are people who are needed that do have, like getting so tongue-tied today, that have degrees in nursing for special needs children. And then my main dream job would be owning and running a bed and breakfast. That is my dream of all dreams. So basically, you just want to find a job, you know, that you will love and that can support you and yourself. So let me stop this and restart it again, and finish the rest of this up.